So what happens when a bill is out there that was authored by a now former member of the California legislature? What if that former legislator still had active pieces of legislation that were pending in either or both houses of the California legislature? So on occasion, a member of the state assembly or the state senate will resign his or her elected office in order to take a new position in or out of government. And what happens if that legislator still has active pieces of legislation pending in either or both houses of the California legislature? Not surprisingly, both the Assembly and Senate have dealt with this issue before, and so each has adopted an internal rule governing how to handle this. So the first is Assembly Rule 47.1, and it's titled Bills Authored by a Former Member. And it says, whenever the author of a bill in the Assembly is no longer a member of the legislature, upon a request of a committee or a current member of the House in which the bill was introduced, the Assembly Committee on Rules may authorize that committee or member to become the author of that bill. Absent that authorization, an action may not be taken by a committee or the Assembly with respect to a bill authored by a former member. And then there's Senate Rule 26 that's also titled Bills Authored by a Former Member. And it says whenever a bill in the Senate is authored by an individual who's no longer a member of the legislature, upon a request of a committee or current member of the House in which the bill was introduced, the Senate Committee on Rules may authorize that committee or member to be the author of that bill. And absent that authorization, action may not be taken by a committee or the Senate with respect to a bill authored by a former member. So as a result of these two rules, for an assembly bill, another assembly member or assembly committee can be authorized from the Assembly Rules Committee to take over that former member's bill. Otherwise, the former member's bill will not move forward in the legislative process. And likewise, for a Senate bill, another senator or Senate committee must get authorization from the Senate Rules Committee to take over that former senator's bill.